Today I'm going to give my thoughts on the movies in the Dirty Harry franchise. But before I go into the movies, I need to quickly summarize the character whom the whole franchise is named after. Harry Callahan, aka Dirty Harry, is an inspector in the San Francisco police force. Over the course of the franchise, he investigates and gets mixed up in solving many sorts of crimes, ranging from theft to murder to terrorism, you name it. He's not necessarily a bad cop, but he generally does not like playing by the rules, and he has his own way of going about things that he feels is the right solution, that more often causes more problems than actually solves them. But in the end, his morals are simple: stop the bad guy and protect the innocent. He doesn't have any sympathy for anyone who breaks the law in the slightest, and even for those who are generally good citizens, he still doesn't have much sympathy. Harry Callahan is, for the most part, a misanthrope who doesn't really care for anybody, and if you can give him anything, it's that he's fair. And one of the most memorable scenes in the first movie, a fellow inspector named DeGiorgio, played by John Mitchum, Robert Mitchum's brother, says, "Harry hates everybody. He plays no favorites. Limeys, micks, heaves, fat dagos, niggers, honkies, chinks, you name it." And then Harry's partner in that film, named Gonzalez, says, "How does he feel about Mexicans?" And then Harry, with a very smart-ass expression and tone, says, "Especially Spicks." Like I said, he's fair, he hates everybody equally, and he's a somewhat likable asshole. And the character became a staple of the action movie genre, setting the tone and inspiration for many action movie heroes in the 1970s and 80s. And after making the Man with No Name trilogy over in Italy, Dirty Harry only helped further Clint Eastwood's status as the action icon that we know him as today. And what do I think of the first and original film in the franchise, Dirty Harry from 1971? Oh, it is fucking awesome. Clint Eastwood is in his prime, he's the ultimate badass, he's got his Magnum, and he delivers the famous catchphrase, which many people misquote, by the way. The actual line is, "You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky?" Well, do you, punk? The movie is excellently directed by Clint Eastwood's mentor, Don Siegel, and it features one of the creepiest villains in a cop franchise you'll ever see, the Scorpio Killer, played incredibly by Andrew Robinson. Second movie up is Magnum Force. I love Clint Eastwood, and I love the character of Dirty Harry, but Magnum Force is the worst film in the franchise, in my opinion. It's not well written, it's very long, to the point that it becomes actually boring. And the writers, director, and sadly probably Clint Eastwood himself, really fucked up with the portrayal of Harry Callahan here. He's given a few badass moments, but Harry Callahan throughout Magnum Force just seems a little too happy. Like, we see scenes of him genuinely happy and smiling, and it just felt weird. And no surprise, the weakest film in the franchise has the weakest catchphrase. "A man's gotta know his limitations." The third movie, and this is actually my personal favorite out of all the Dirty Harry sequels, The Enforcer. Dirty Harry goes up against a group of domestic terrorists who hijack an arsenal and kidnap the mayor of San Francisco, all the while dealing with a new partner, a young female rookie played by Tyne Daly of Cagney and Lacey, named Kate Moore. So next to the domestic terrorist shit, Dirty Harry has to break in a new partner, as well as overcome a little bit of sexism he may have. But as the film goes on, Harry and Kate warm up to each other, and they become actually a pretty good team. Personally, out of all the inspectors who have been unfortunate enough to be partnered with Dirty Harry, Kate Moore is my personal favorite. Tyne Daly is just awesome in her performance. The character is very fleshed out and has a lot of development as the film goes on. And Daly and Eastwood have some pretty awesome chemistry together. And the movie features my favorite Dirty Harry catchphrase of all time, She wants to play lumberjack. She's gonna have to learn to handle her end of the log. Fourth movie up is definitely the most interesting and complex of the Dirty Harry sequels, Sudden Impact. Starring Sandra Lockey, Clint Eastwood's former lover and now someone he's probably not very fond of, as Jennifer Spencer, a rape victim turned vigilante who's hunting down all the people who were involved in her and her sister's rape, and Dirty Harry is the one on the case trying to find her. Having an antagonist that you could sympathize with creates an interesting conflict in this Dirty Harry film, and for the most part it's a pretty excellent movie, except for the ending, which I will not spoil, but I will say it really hurts the film. Doesn't ruin it, but hurts it just enough that I can't call it a good sequel. I'll just say this. Harry Callahan does something that is really out of character in my opinion. Just doesn't seem like something he would do. But hey, it gave us the second most famous catchphrase. Go ahead, make my day. The fifth and last movie in the franchise is The Deadpool. The Deadpool is undeniably the silliest of the Dirty Harry films, but it's very well made, and the action scenes, the comedy scenes, and believe it or not, the romantic scenes are very cool and fun to watch. It's about a serial killer hunting people who work in the entertainment industry, and as Dirty Harry tries to find out the identity of the killer, he ends up butting heads with an egotistic horror film director named Peter Swan, played excellently by Liam Neeson, wearing a leather jacket, having his hair tied in a ponytail, and speaking with a very high-pitched British accent. It's a great film. Not the ideal ending to this iconic action franchise, but if you had to end the Dirty Harry franchise, this was a satisfying enough final film. And The Deadpool features a very early appearance by a young Jim Carrey as a heroin-addicted rock star. And those are my thoughts. What do you think of the Dirty Harry films? Which sequel is your favorite? Leave a comment down below and tell me what you think.